What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant, and Packer Nation stand up as Monday Night Football has just concluded, and my Green Bay Packers were able to win versus New Orleans Saints in a very dominant fashion, 34-0, pitching the first shutout of the NFL season, which is crazy to even think about, because there's been some lopsided games this season, but the first donut, of this season. Nothing I'm bragging about just yet, as the New Orleans Saints do have a lot of injuries, a lot of things going on their side of the football, but I do got to say that I am very happy to see my Green Bay Packers clicking. Jordan Love is playing some great football as quarterback, and Tony Romo said that we were his favorite as a sleeper to win the Super Bowl, and I can't agree with him more. But ladies and gentlemen, before I get started, please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily. Stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to hear what you all have to say about these topics. And ladies and sports fans and gentlemen, again, I believe Green Bay. That is my football team. And this was a good game, this evening, week 15, or was this week 16 of the NFL. And we look good in all three facets. The offense was a little, I can't say shaky. There was a couple plays there that I was concerned about, but as far as Jordan Love and sometimes Jordan gets into these little blunders. I guess all quarterbacks do, all athletes do, but sometimes he gets into this moment where he kind of, I guess, tries to force the issue sometimes, and it just kind of makes a bad play. But overall, like I say, this game was very impressive to me in all three facets. The defense played very well. Again, pitching this shutout, was able to get a fumble, was able to get an interception. We'll talk about the numbers a little later, but yeah, man, just a good game. Fun fact, y'all know I love these little tidbits, but my Green Bay Packers are undefeated in all of our history, right? All of the rich history that comes with the Green Bay Packers. We are undefeated on Monday Night Football in the month of December, and that's in franchise history. So I love that, and just another cherry on top of this dominance performance that we got from the Green Bay Packers. Gotta say, this gentleman's name's Josh Jacobs. Bro, this is probably, man, I can't say that it's a better pickup than maybe Saquon Barkley. Might be tied right there with the Derrick Henry pickup for the Ravens. You might know as far as what Derrick Henry has been for the Ravens. It's probably apples to what Josh Jacobs has been to the Green Bay Packers. Only thing I can say is I think that Saquon still was the best offseason move, just because of all of the diversity you get with a Saquon Barkley. Literally, Saquon Barkley is a receiver and a running back, and he's elite, in all facets of the game. So, other than that, I just think that Josh Jacobs is right there as one of the best premier pickups. As far as all of the free agency movement we got this recent offseason, and I'm so happy, elated that he landed with my Green Bay Packers, because with the young Jordan Love, already showing much promise, that he's going to have a good quarterbacking career. We needed a guy like Josh Jacobs to provide some experience, some security, some youth in his own right. He's only 26, and just a presence at the running back position. Of course, we had Aaron Jones. Loved Aaron Jones, but we got 6 years younger with Josh Jacobs, and he's right there as far as, maybe I would say, voice my opinion, he's better than Aaron Jones, an upgrade. But no disrespect to Aaron Jones. I just think that Josh Jacobs was a premier pickup for the offseason, and he's really been showing his value all throughout the season with Green Bay. I'm so happy that he mentioned in this his post-game interview that he chose to come to Green Bay, and he really appreciates the culture and the history that we have. So he's falling right in the fold, man. It's really turning out to be something special. There's been several games that he's led the way to a victory for us, and this game was one of those. I believe he had 69 yards rushing this evening, 38 yards passing, gave him a total of 107 scrimmage yards. But as far as, it's really not bouncing out, really not, jumping off the paper what this guy is doing for our team. If you're watching the games, you see it. He just runs with such a compassion, and it really shows he's all in with Packer Nation. So, can't really talk about this game without mentioning Josh Jacobs and how he was effective all throughout the game, opened up the game for us, led us down the field in 3 consecutive drives. He was able to score, I believe, on the second or third one. I can't recall. We'll look at that a little later as well. But we opened the game up very methodically. Three touchdown scores on our first 3 drives. Pass to Dontavian Wicks, very nice. And then followed up with 2 scores from our running backs. Chris Brooks got his first career touchdown. Josh Jacobs got a touchdown. And another thing, man, we got all of our running backs on the depth chart active anyway, that they all scored tonight, as Emmanuel Wilson was able to get a touchdown at the end of the game. But Josh Jacobs, Chris Brooks, and Jordan Love opened up the game, gave us a 21-0 lead at halftime. And just to speak about the New Orleans Saints, man, I felt a little bad. There wasn't much to talk about pertaining to what they was able to do tonight. In the first half alone, the Green Bay Packers was able to hold their offense at just 75 yards. So, again, there's not a lot to talk about. I will say this, though. Spencer Rattler is a part of the crew of quarterbacks that came in this recent draft that I feel like all of these fellas, the Bo Nixons, the Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, all of these guys are going to show promise in their careers, in my opinion. And I think Spencer Rattler's in that category as well. I just think that he's in the worst of the situations. We've seen this a few times with the Baker Mayfields, my guy Jared Goff, Jared Goff, as far as his coaching anyway, when he was with, I think, Jeff Fisher. You just see these situations when maybe perhaps a good quarterback lands in a bad situation. And I think that's just the case with Spencer Rattler right now, with all of the hoopla going on in New Orleans with the Saints, firing Dennis Allen a couple weeks ago. And, I just think that's horrible. All of the injuries as well. Chris Olave, we can't talk about the New Orleans Saints without mentioning the plethora of injuries that they're experiencing. Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara went down last week. Dennis Allen as well. He had some injuries early, came back, got injured again. And so Spencer Rattler was supposed to be in more of a backup position. He was actually supposed to be in a bit of a situation that Jordan Love was in with Aaron Rodgers, as far as just being a student, learning from the guy that would have been Dennis Allen, learning how to be a professional quarterback. But unfortunately, again, Dennis Allen has suffered some injury, so Spencer Rattler has been thrust into this situation that I don't think he's exactly ready for. I will say he made a couple impressive plays this game, but he wasn't able to catch any momentum. So it just was what it was. And then, of course, catching my Packers week 15, 16, whichever week this is, I can't recall, catching us, while we're hot on a nice little momentum run. Spencer Rattler just ran into, a rock in a hard place. But let me see. I had made some more notes. My defense, Packers defense was very impressive. Again, going up against the rookie quarterback. They did what I expected them to do. But I got to mention Zane Anderson, who I forget where we picked him up from, but he got his first career interception this game. So very proud of him. He also got his first career start this game. So 2 firsts for 2 Packers this evening. Chris Brooks got his first rushing touchdown. Actually 3 firsts, because Zane Anderson got his first career start and his first career interception this evening. So very impressed with those brothers. Just looking it through my notes really quick, y'all. We talked about the drive. We talked about Spence. In the first half alone, my Packers averaged 6 yards a play. With that, also we got 2 fourth down conversions, went 2 or 2 on fourth down in the first half. Just to add in all of the dominance that we were playing with. This is also our 5th consecutive game of scoring 30 points, which has been good for us. When we put up points, we typically, those games are closer, and we're always competitive. 8 players this evening had at least 1 carry for a rush. So just showing the creative mind of Coach Matt LaFleur. I really got a high respect for Coach LaFleur myself. Yeah, I think we get there. Malik Willis, I have wrote down. I always kind of write down some notes during the game. Malik Willis popped in to the game. My favorite backup quarterback in the NFL, of course. He came into the game with 5:44 left in the game and did what he did in week 2 or 3 of whichever week. I think it was week 3 or 4 when he started and led us to 2 victories. Malik Willis is a solid backup quarterback, and I got a good respect for him as well. All right, y'all, let's talk about these numbers before we get out of here. We can see what each team did numerically, get a little bit of an idea. Again, like I said, it's not much to talk about when it comes to the New Orleans Saints, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Spencer Rattler, he went 15 to 30 this evening, 153 yards, 1 interception, no touchdown scores. He was also sacked 3 times, had a QBR of 19.3 and a rating of 51.1. Spencer Rattler also ran the ball 5 times for 28 yards. To assist him in that rushing department, Jordan Mims pitched in 4 carries for 16 yards. Kendra Miller, who had a pretty good, solid game after Alvin Kamara went down, he had 8 carries and 15 yards, respectfully. Jamal Williams, a former running back for the Green Bay Packers, he had 3 carries for 8 yards as well. The receiving core, again, decimated when you talk about Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, all of these guys, man, they're down. So they and another dude, who was that? Scanlon, another former Green Bay Packer, MVS. Can't think of Valdez Scantling. He went out. He was supposed to play this game, but last minute injury to the chest for him kept him out of this game as well. So Foster Moreau, I hope I'm saying his name right. Foster Moreau. Had 2 receptions, 33 yards for him. He also had 3 targets for the fantasy football community. We're going to talk about some fantasy football as well in the upcoming video. Dante Pettis, he had 2 receptions, 31 yards on 7 targets. Jawan Johnson, 2 receptions, 27 yards on 2 targets. And that's pretty much all we could talk about there. Unfortunately, again, there wasn't much to talk about when it came to the New Orleans Saints this evening. The defense did absolutely nothing, no sacks, no interceptions. I guess we could talk about they were able to get 3 QB hits, which I'm starting to believe that my Green Bay Packers, we got the best offensive line in the league, man. It's very impressive with the gaps they are able to create for Josh Jacobs. Not just that, the time that they give Spencer Jordan Love, the time that he has back there to throw a ball, is very impressive as well. So that offensive line, man, we got to be in the hunt. We got to be the number 1. I'm going to check the rankings on that. Speaking of the Green Bay Packers, really quick, Jordan Love, he went 16 of 28 this evening, 182 yards for a touchdown score. No sacks, great game. He did have a QBR of 89.1 and a QB rating of 88.7. Malik Willis popped in the game again. He went 1 of 2, 34 yards. He had a big throw to, forget who it was. Was that Jaden Reed he threw the ball to? I think he had a big throw to Jaden. That's where he got his his completion from. For the rushing department, Josh Jacobs. He had 13 carries for 69 yards, again, leading the way with a touchdown score as well. Emmanuel Wilson, I'm a big fan of him, our backup RB. He had 11 carries, 52 yards, also another touchdown score for him. And I'm loving that two-headed monster between those guys. Emmanuel Wilson always comes into the game for us and gives us some big energetic runs. Chris Brooks, the young man, he had 6 carries for 23 yards, also pitched a touchdown score for himself as well, his first of his career. Jaden Reed, he had 4 targets on the evening. He caught 3 of those for 76 yards to lead the way for the wide receiver room. I should mention as well, Jaden Reed had a carry. He was one of those 8 players that had a carry this game. 1 carry for 5 yards. Bo Melton had a carry for 14 yards. Christian Watson, who went down with an injury. I got to check on his injury status. Hopefully, C. Watts, man, he always his short career. I think he's only been in the league about 4 or 5 years, but his whole career has been plagued with injuries, man. And so I'm hoping he's good. But he did pitch in 2 carries as well for 23 yards. Boo Boo Tucker Craft had picked up a big QB sneak, tight end sneak, if we will. He had himself a carry as well. The wide receiver room, again, Jaden Reed, 4 targets, 3 receptions, 76 yards. Tucker Craft, who has been big for us in the absence of Luke Musgrave. May I say Luke did return this game, but I think they're kind of easing him in, just getting him a feel of being back on the field again, because Luke Musgrave has not played since week 4 of the NFL season, coming off of his injury. And again, I believe about 10 weeks. That was about 10 or 11, almost 4 months ago now. So just was it 3 months? Excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. 3 months ago since we've seen Luke Musgrave. So just praying and hoping that he was able to make a full recovery, but he was able to get on the field today, suit up. He was out there for a moment. But Tucker Craft has been filling in very well. I'm loving what Tuck is doing for our team. Josh Jacobs, 4 receptions, 38 yards on 4 targets. Romeo Doubs, my guy, I like this guy. Probably the best route runner for the Green Bay Packers. He had 2 receptions, 20 yards, 3 receptions for Dontavian Wicks again. He was able to get the touchdown score. Had 13 yards on the evening. Emmanuel Wilson also caught a football for 4 yards himself. On the defense, we were able to get 3 sacks. Keyshawn Nixon, Brenton Cox, and Devontae Wyatt. We got 3 sacks between those gentlemen. 6 QB hits as well. Zane Anderson was able to get that interception that we spoke about earlier in his first career start, also his first career interception. Very impressive game from the Cheeseheads. Really fast, I'm going to look over the team scores. We have 14 first downs for the Saints compared to the 24 for the Green Bay Packers. Third down efficiency, 4-11 for the Saints, 6 of 13, for the Green Bay Packers. First downs rushing, we got 14 compared to their 3. Passing first downs were about even, 9 for the Saints, 10 for us. Total plays, 53-69 in favor of the Packers. Total yards, this is where the margins really differ. 196 yards for the New Orleans Saints compared to 404 for my Green Bay Packers. Almost doubled the production. Passing yards, 129 for the Saints, 216 for my Green Bay Packers. Also, we should mention yards per play, 3.7 for the New Orleans Saints compared to 5.9. Nearly 6. Like I said, that's how we ended the first half with 6 yards per play, and ended the game with 5.9. So very, very impressive. Rushing attempts. Rushing yards. We had 67 for the Saints, compared to a whopping 188 for the Green Bay Packers. Really, just loving the 50-50 split that we get from our running game and our passing game right now. Red zone 4-4 for the Green Bay Packers went absolutely perfect. No red zone attempts were made by the New Orleans Saints. And that's it. Time of possession 22 minutes and 47 seconds for the Saints compared to 37 minutes and 13 seconds for my Green Bay Packers. So again, just an impressive win for the Green Bay Packers. Staying in the race for no, we're in the playoffs now. We sealed our playoff berth, but just keep trying to keep up with the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. I think everybody knew that the Detroit Lions would be in the mix, but these dang old Vikings, man, only got 2 losses on the season. I didn't foresee this. I didn't hear any of the experts talking about this either. So kudos to the Vikings, man. You know, they got the same exact record as the very much talked about Detroit Lions. So but my Green Bay Packers were able to get this game dominant again, pitching the first shutout of the season. Can't sing the Green Bay Packers praises enough, me personally, as I'm hecka biased being in house. But again, impressive. We'll see what next week implies. I think we got the Vikings. I think we're on the road in game, so a lot of playoff implications there between our division rival, and then the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, who've been looking like the New Orleans Saints, especially this game. They go up against the Las Vegas Raiders. And not for nothing, you know, that game will have a lot of implications as far as the NFL draft order. So they're playing for something, I guess, you know, one of the guys that's coming out of the draft next season. So we'll see how the next week in football unfolds. But that's all I got for y'all on this one, man. Definitely appreciate the love and support. Please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I'm always interested to hear what you all have to say about these topics. I am Tony the Savant. Peace.